Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to another cast done by me, but I love you. And today we have CLG versus Epic Gamer, and this is actually gonna be quite an interesting match. I did actually watch CLG play yesterday on 6, and they played a really well match against V8. Unfortunately, the recording didn't get my voice, but Nat did cast it, or yeah, I did cast with him, and that was really fun to see. And as you see for picks here, CLG going with Alistair, Cassiopeia, Cho'Gath, Graves, and Udyr. Of course, Saint Vicious will be doing the jungle with Udyr. And Epic Gamer has picked Corki, Shyvana, Soraka, Rumble, and Orianna. And it's going to be really interesting to see because Shyvana is really a counter jungler. She's really strong in the jungle at taking away levels, and Udyr is so quick at clearing that with Shyvana countering him, it kind of shuts him down early game. And we see CLG is actually invading onto Epic Gamer's blue buff. They really want to take this away from Shyvana. It's really nice XP. But being spotted by Westrise here, it looks like they're going to actually back out. Go back into their own jungle, kind of just not really force too much early aggression. And hopefully we should see a quite interesting game. We see Dyrus actually run Rumble, who is getting really well known for Rumble. He's really strong in top lane. Been doing really well with that lately. And Salsi here actually playing Orianna again. I'm actually going to be doing a ult in 10 with him on Thursday, 2 days from now, where we're actually using the game the game he played against Goose, EG versus Goose, and he had an amazing Orianna game. He really did well carrying that game for them, and it should be interesting to watch. So I hope you guys check that out when it comes out. We see Udyr is actually taking his own blue buff. Of course, Alistair here is actually missing from bottom. Looks like they're going to be running a 2v1 up top to counter Rumble. And we see that Hotshot GG actually is bottom, trying to try something interesting, something new, maybe change the meta around. And hopefully they can actually shut Rumble out quite hard here, knowing that Alistair Graves Rumble cannot get away from that with Alistair's really heavy CC. And I really want to focus on these top and bot lanes just because it's so different. And I want to actually take a sip of water quick. Hold on. All right, so yeah. We see Hotshot is actually running Cloth Armor 5 pots. He's trying to make sure he can stay alive in lane, not lose too many levels. And EG is doing a really good job bot lane, denying him any CS and as much XP as they can do. And the same thing's kind of happening at top. However, it's not happening as well. It looks like the blue team CLG's lane has pushed, so Dyrus will be getting all this XP and not missing out on too much. He will be missing on CS, but of course levels are more important than CS early game. And of course, Corki is still harassing away at him, doing a really good job getting some damage. And we see Udyr is actually coming up here to help him out. He is already level 4. He cleared his whole jungle. Very quick clear, 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And he will be coming in from River. Epic Gamer does not have this warded. He will be able to get in here and initiate. Hotshot taking heavy damage from Corki. And Udyr missing that stun on the Westrise, who just Valkyries away. Really good job by Epic Gamer to get out of there quickly. And luckily, Cho'Gath actually won't miss out on this XP here. He did actually get kind of low, but just popped a health pot, stayed alive. And we see Genko down in middle. Chowster actually roaming from top lane to mid lane, trying to help out Big Fat LP. However, they do not get the kill. And it looks like they actually might be trying this roaming Alistair build with some minor support up top. Yeah, it's actually going around, just trying to help out mid lane, knowing that Alistair was there, and trying to maybe get a ward at race, but Saint Vicious does catch her. And it looks like we actually might get a kill here because Soraka does not have flash. He only has Ignite and Heal. And he does flash onward to try to get this kill, but Shyvana is there to help him out. He does get exhausted and tries to run away, but however, he will be going down. So does Nat, though. Good job by Big Fat LP to come in and get that kill on her. But we do see Dandan trying to really get cast down. We see Corki actually came up from bot lane to help mid lane there, seeing that his Soraka did go up to help as well. So it was a pretty uneven trade. CLG actually did lose 2 there. And Epic Gamer only lost their support, so really good job by EG to stay on the ball there and realize, what was happening. And they really backed it up. And we see Hotshot here trying to get any CS he can get while his lane opponents are out of lane. And even though they were running Alistair Graves top, as you see right now, Dyrus, he is level 4. He has kept up in levels. He does have 15 CS to double his 32. But like I said earlier, when you run a 2v1 top, it's really important just to get those levels over CS. And we're seeing that on bot lane, Cho'Gath actually does have 20 CS, so he's not too far behind Corki. Corki is sitting there with 27 with the Doran's Blade. And Cho actually did go back, get some more health pots. He's back up to 5 health pots to make sure he can stay alive in lane. And actually did get a ward to help out as well for many ganks. Because if a gank did come bottom, they would be a 3v1 and hopefully a pretty easy kill on Hotshot since he only has his knock up to get away, his Rupture. And we see Dyer's back. Actually, well, he was attempting to back, but it looks like he wants to get this XP, not miss on him too much since his lane is pushed pretty far. And Shyvana coming up here to get the XP that he'll miss. Obviously, Darius is going to go for a Hextech to have that extra lifesteal and sustainability in lane. But unfortunately, he shouldn't be able to buy that. He actually does pick up Cloth Armor to counter the damage that Chauster does. And we see EG still just doing a really good job bottom lane, really denying Hotshot any farm, trying to keep his levels down as far as they can. And it's quite interesting. I'm really curious on what CLG is doing here. I'm pretty sure they're just testing this out, but it would throw off a less experienced team, running something different from the norm, and it's a really good job that EG is really paying attention to this. So Dandin is now level 6 on Shyvana. We should see some really nice games from him coming soon. He hasn't been counter jungling too much. I'm actually kind of curious because that is her strong point. She is really strong at counter jungling, and it might be just because Adir is really fast, but he is ahead though. Sorry, he is ahead of Saint Vicious as well. Saint Vicious is only level 5, and a really nice ward placement from Yad. He actually put this here to see where Udyr was going in the jungle, and as you see just now, he did put a ward in Tribush to make sure that Udyr is not coming to gank bottom. Really making it easy for Herpy to CS. He's up to 43 now to Outshot's 34. He's doing a really good job making sure to pick up as much CS as he can, especially when he can't really be harassed too much in lane. Mid lane's kind of interesting. We see that Salsi actually has 47 CS and 2 Doran's Rings to cast his 37 CS and 2 Doran's Rings. It's kind of interesting to see that Chaucer is roaming between top and middle lane to help. It looks like he might be trying to help help counter gank, but it's not really working out too well because Shyvana is actually not showing up, which it really does hurt Cass and Double Lift, just because he's soaking up that extra XP, while EG in their lanes is getting a full amount of XP. We see bottom turret actually is starting to get really low. It looks like they're actually going to be diving on a Hotshot here. Soraka tanking the turret. Hotshot does go in and try to eat her, and he does get that kill, luckily. Soraka was tanking that turret for quite a long time. A really good move there by Hotshot to make sure to get that feast on her while the turret was attacking her, and he did pick up that kill. So it wasn't too bad for him. He does pick up a Feeler Stone with that kill, and he should just kind of be trying for a late game build since he has to build GP5. And we see Big Fat LP coming up here. Rumble does not know that he's there, but it looks like EG has noticed that she is missing from lane. So Orianna, played by Saucy, being very smart, noticing Castle's gone, because she is really deadly if she can land her ulti on you. That's, I believe, a 2-second stun. Yeah, 2-second stun, and not to mention how much burst damage she can do with her Twin Fangs. And we see that there's some really interesting ward placements here from EG. They're being really protective. A little double ward action here, but this ward action will go down soon. But they're being really protective. They're making sure that top lane cannot be ganked since Alistar is roaming around. So it's a really good job by them to be able to adapt to this and prevent any sort of thing that Alistar could do. And we see that EG is actually trying to get this dragon here. Hotshot and Chaucer here both trying to stop him. Saucy is coming in from the top. Hotshot does land a nice rupture and a nice silence. And it looks like Saucy catching Big Fat LP off guard. Big Fat LP getting a nice ulti on the Dandin, but Dandin does get away. Corki and Soraka coming up from bottom. And Corki does help get that kill on the Cassiopeia. And we see Dandin is all alone on the side of the bush. He does flash away. Hotshot looks like they might be able to pick up this kill here on him, and Saint Vicious does get that kill. Unfortunately, I did not see who actually got Dragon on that. And Saint Vicious will go down, but really good job by Westerice to come up from bot lane to help out, knowing that Cho'Gath came up there. And as well as Salsi coming down from middle. That could have been really deadly for EG. Good thing, though, that they did try to CC Cassiopeia quickly as they could and try to burst her down to prevent any sort of damage from her. So we're starting to see we have a 3 to 6 kill lead in favor of Epik Gamer. However, CLG does have more money than them at the moment, so I believe they did get Dragon. And we see Alistar going in here, initiating. We see Graves coming in from the top. Double Lift missing his buckshot. But we're still seeing some heavy damage going on Saucy. But with Soraka and her heals, she just is able to prevent any deaths onto her without any ignite. And unfortunately for CLG, the only knight they had was on Big Fat LP, but he was unable to get that off on her to get that kill. And it looks like Saucy will pick up this blue from Dandin. Really good job for Saucy. He can really dominate a lane with Orianna, as we saw in other games. Especially having that blue buff really gives him that ability to do that. He does have 3 kills, and so does Corki, so that's really bad for CLG, where they have their AP carry and their AD carry starting to get really farmed. They got really good CS. Orianna is beating Cassiopeia, and Corki is obviously beating Hotshot, but he is not beating Double Lift up at top lane on Graves. And we're seeing some aggressive warding here. Well, a little bit of aggressive warding, but as well as some defensive warding from St. Vicious, making sure that their Shyvana does not try to gank middle. Cass is a little behind already, being 1 and 2. And they really want to try to help Big Fat LP out a little bit and make sure he can get back in this game, because they're going to be really heavily dependent on his stun. Or, sorry, his ulti. We do notice, though, that Doublelift has taken down the top tower, doing a really good job of applying pressure, keeping Darius up there on Rumble, making sure that Darius cannot roam too much. And Doublelift does back. I am curious to see what item he picks up. He does get a BF sword. And Hotshot, still level 8. He's doing a really good job bottom lane, keeping up with EG's levels. His farm is not, it's not too bad, 59, especially for being in a 1v2 lane. You expect to have less CS than the other team. And the only job you really have is just making sure you can survive. And Chouster is level 6, or now hitting level 7, so he is still up to date with Soraka. He is on equal levels with her. He has been making sure to get as much XP as he can. But we do see right here that Big Fat LP is level 8 and Saucy is 9. So we really see how Alistair soaking up XP from top lane and middle lane is actually kind of hurt CLG. And we see here that Graves is actually in the enemy jungle. He does ward their red. Really good job by him to kind of prevent any buffs from for Epic Gamer. But Shyvana does know that there's coming, and Orianna does come in from the side as well. Okay, Doublelift might flash over this wall, avoiding Orianna's ulti. Really good job, Dan, jumping over that wall with Shyvana. Darius getting a really nice ulti on a Doublelift, and Doublelift should go down here in a second or two. Looks like Cassiopeia doing a little bit of fighting here with Saucy, but she will not be able to kill him. And Dandin, noticing that their blue buff is up, will try to take it. Darius and Saucy both coming in to kind of prevent this. And St. Vicious coming in for the stun onto him, as well as Big Fat LP's ulti. They are unable to kill him, though. He is pretty tanky, even though he does not have, very many items. He only has that Wriggles and a no magic mantle. Really good job, though, by EG. They prevented Doublelift from getting their red buff, and they took Big Fat LP's blue buff. So really good job. That really does set CLG behind, and we see the gold actually has switched over to in favor of EG here. Not to mention the 4 kills. And it seems like Chouster is just holding bot lane for Hotshot while he does back and buy. Really good job for Chouster, or really beneficial for Chouster, because he can now catch up on levels a little bit and kind of become a little tanky for CLG. In terms of items, Rumble definitely going for that Hex Tech. That was pretty obvious, and I wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw a double Woda again. That even though it has gotten nerfed in this last patch from 25% lifesteal to spell steal to 20%, it still is 40% in the end when you have a double Woda. And when team fights do last pretty long, when both teams get tanky, that is really helpful. That it really elongates how long an AP carry can actually stay in a fight. And we're seeing Shogat, looks like he's going to be going for a Catalyst here. Hotshot GG does have his Heart of Gold and his Stone, but he is a little bit behind on terms of gear, but those double GP5s really should help out, and I shouldn't see him being too far behind. And we see our top lane, Darius, he really wants to push this lane back out. He really wants to get that tower down, and he is making sure to ward to prevent any ganks from him, since he is overextending for it. And Shogat's just just staying in lane, just soaking up those levels. It looks like this strategy that CLG has come up with, unfortunately, is not working out too well for them. Alistair was unable to get any kills in any lanes. He wasn't able to put too much pressure down, and he actually did hurt his lanes quite a little bit, with denying some XP. Then in here, looks like he's going to try to get this kill here on bottom. CLG does not know he's there, but St. Vicious might have an idea since his double guns are gone, but he actually might come back here. They actually have an idea that he's there, so he does see him. They do engage each other. Hachoji coming over, trying to land that Rupture. He does land that Rupture and silence on the Dan Din, but Soraka just healing him up. Soraka still has her Summoner heal and her ulti, so Dan Din will easily be able to walk out of there. Good job by St. Vicious, though, to at least check those bushes. Hotshot might have been in trouble there if Epic Gamer did actually push into that kill. And we see a pink ward down for Epic Gamer. They really want to get this dragon. They, I believe, did not get the first one, so they want to make sure to get at least the second one to give them an even bigger gold advantage. And we see that actually Dyrus has come down from top lane, knowing that there will be a dragon fight, as well as Doublelift did too. They really want to make sure to contest this dragon. Both teams really wants to contest this dragon and make sure that it isn't a free, 150 gold per player for the other team. And hopefully we will see an interesting fight here. Salsi does have blue buff, so he is able to harass and get that really needed sight with his ball. And we have all of EG here in the river. It looks like all of CG here is in the river as well. Looks like a big team fight will go down here really soon. Epic Gamer is starting to push him out of there. CLG knowing they're not as strong as Epic Gamer is at the moment. So if they were to engage on a head-on fight, Epic Gamer should be able to pull this off. However, Chowster really can turn the fight around if he lands some really nice knockups and CC onto the enemy carries. And it looks like Epic Gamer actually did split up a little bit, protecting that bottom tower as CLG does come over to get this dragon. CLG really does have a strong team, a strong comp to take this dragon, having... Oh, I'm sorry, we see Dandan coming in, ulting over the wall, trying to force Big Fat LP out of the fight, and Salsi trying to force the other three out of the fight, but Oriana with a really nice ulti on a West Rice and a Dandan. St. Vicious might go down here by... Wow, St. Vicious is going down by West Rice, so does Big Fat LP. Corki picking up that double kill, so that will be a dragon for EG. I do not believe CLG would be able to stop this. Really good job by Dan Din, really forcing Cassiopeia out of the fight, because she has that really strong engage with her ulti. So by taking her out of that fight completely, she only hit her ulti on Dan Din. It really saved Salsi and Corki, or in West Rice, from that huge 2-second stun. So a really good job by Dan Din there. He really applied the pressure they needed to win that team fight. And this match is really heading towards a win for EG if they can keep this up, doing a really good job. I know they've been screaming quite a few lately. It looks like they're getting a little more serious in terms of professional League of Legends. And CLG has definitely been doing it as well. Since they are going to Hanover, they really want to start practicing and making sure that they're on par for these teams. And we do see on Graves, we see a Bloodthirster, and it looks like he will be building towards his Zeal as well next. We see on Udyr, he is going the typical Wit's End build. There is a lot of heavy AP damage on EG with having a, well, Soraka doesn't do too much, but Rumble and Oriana. And we see Cho'Gath still not doing anything yet with this Ruby Crystal and Sapphire Crystal, but I still expect a Callus to come out of him. And Cass, Big Fat LP, actually is going for a Giant's Belt, so it looks like he is going to go for a Rylai's as his first big item. He really does need that extra bit of tankiness, knowing that Shyvana will stick to him pretty much every time. Shyvana has actually built a Phage and has actually another null magic mental. I believe she will be going for a Wit's End as well for that extra damage. And Corki has gone for that Trinity Force build. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see an IE come out of him next. That's typically a good build for Corki. It's extremely high damage and it's very lethal. And we can go back to Rumble. He does have his Will of the Ancients, like I was saying earlier. Oriana, Salsi has actually picked up his Rabadon's Death Cat, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Woda coming from him next as well. We see both teams having some, pretty close wards here. These two wards are sitting right next to each other saying, hey, how you doing? So they're trying to really take that map control, or at least hold that map control, but yeah, it does actually have his oracles. He is going to be coming around to pick off this ward. Yeah, doing a really good job. Actually, he doesn't even notice it. But yeah, still doing a really good job. He does have that oracles, and CLG does not have one, so it really gives Epic Gamer that advantage in map awareness. Looks like a little bit of action here on bottom. Deer, St. Vicious coming around, maybe trying to get a kill, but does not. Dandan does say hi to Chowster, but Chowster just punches them away. And they do pick off that ward, so really good job still. But yeah, that was a really good time to pick up that oracles, knowing they have that lead and they want to keep it going by taking out any vision that CLG might have. And Double Lift went with that early Bloodthirst to deal with any Rumble harass. Since Rumble did go that Spell Vamp item, the Hex Tech, he had to make sure to counter that himself with a Lifesteal item to make sure that if they do trade damage, they can both heal it back up. And Corki here just doing some good chip on Hotshot. Hotshot has picked up his Catalyst. He actually might go for Rod of Ages or might build it into a Banshee's Veil since they are a really heavy AP team. Saintfish is coming here. They might try to go for a kill, or he actually might just be relieving Hotshot so he can go back. But overall, there hasn't been too much action in this game. We actually do see Dandan coming up top lane. Double Lift overextended. Does get ulted by Dandan, and they pick up that easy kill onto him. Double Lift was really overextended with no wards to protect him. He actually literally has no wards in the Tri-Bush, at red, or anything to protect him. So that was really a mistake on his part, not making sure he had that sight to prevent a kill, because as you saw right there, he just got destroyed in a matter of seconds. Really good job by Dandan though. Really, he's playing extremely well in Shyvana right now. Even though he's only 1-1, he still does have that 7 assists, and he's really doing a really good job in team fights to really shut down CLG's big fat LP on Cass. Looks like, wow, that is a scary team at bottom right now. Udyr, Cho'Gath, and Alistair. Corki does not want to go against that. It looks like they are going to try to take this tower down for some extra gold to catch back up. But Dandan doing really well. He is pushing that top lane, knowing that Udyr is nowhere near, and knowing that Double Lift actually has died recently. And Dyrus and Saucy may be trying to pick off big fat LP here, but unfortunately for them, he does flash away. But still, it is a Summoner burn, so that is a really good job. And Dyrus just... Every time I watch Dyrus play, he just loves taking the enemy's jungle. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good habit to learn, because you're denying gold and you're denying levels for the enemy jungler. And at this point in the game, you're also denying it to their team in general for anyone who would have picked that jungle up. So we see a CLG. They actually did pick up this tower. Corki and Soraka had to fall back. Of course, they cannot take on that beefy of a team right now. And we see, yeah, it looks like Hotshot will be going for that Banshee's Veil. Shyvana did pick up her Wit's End. Ooh, sorry. And Rumble will be picking up, I believe, his, what's it called? Rylai's as well. Cass has finished her Rylai's, but she is not doing too well this game. Bifa LP really needs some more AP to be able to hurt any of them, especially Dandan, who's chasing him out every fight. She really needed that damage, but of course she also needed that tankiness to survive in fights. So, CLG really needs to bring this game to late game where they can build the MR to counter their team, or to counter Epik Gamer. And Corki, playing by Westeros, actually did push bottom lane, got that tower down, got that extra gold for them. And I believe Dragon actually will be up pretty soon, so Epik Gamer is hanging around it. I believe it actually is coming up soon, so we're going to see maybe another team fight here. And here it goes. We see Epik Gamer hitting on it right away, knowing that CLG has no wards with Yat's Oracle. So it will be another dragon, two dragons to 1 for Epik Gamer, and that was a generally free dragon for them. And Dandan does engage on a bottom lane, thinking that Corki wanted to fight it as well, but that was a mistake on his part, and he actually just had to flash over that wall to stay alive. All 5 members of CLG is here at Dragon, and Dyrus is top lane on Rumble, just farming away. And CLG, knowing that they are kind of being, they are kind of losing at the moment, they're trying to make something happen by roaming around as 5. Really trying to pick up some free kills and kind of turn the game around. And that's why we saw them at bottom lane getting that tower to kind of catch up on gold, and we just saw them in the middle trying to get that tower to catch up on gold. So CLG really not giving up. They are trying pretty hard to kind of get back in this game and make sure that they can, do something late game. I see a little bit of engagement here at bottom. Hotshot GG getting a really nice knock-up, doing Cass ulti onto 2 of them as well. Dyrus and Dandan getting hit with that. Chowster really low health, going down quite easily, even with his ulti up, and Saint Vicious as well taking a heavy damage, even with that that really well initiate from Hotshot and Big Fat LP. That was a heavy fight, or that fight was heavily in favor of Epik Gamer, and they will be able to pick up Cass's blue buff here. That is the second blue buff I believe that has been denied to Cass. Really hurts her in her laning phase, and it looks like Epik Gamer wants to do Baron. Yeah, doing a really good job of warding for that, but it looks like they're just gonna back, knowing that there's no reason to give up their advantage they have right now by giving CLG any chance of stealing that Baron. And I was saying earlier that CLG has a really strong team for stealing Baron because of Cho'Gath's Feast. It's 1,000 damage to minions and monsters, and since Smite caps around, I believe it's like 820 or something like that. It's really easy as a Cho'Gath to steal Baron or to steal Dragon, especially when you have a Smite on your team with Saint Vicious. I know Hotshot has definitely in the past had some really good experience stealing Baron. I believe it was in a Riot versus the Pros game. He actually flashed over the wall as Tarek and stole that Baron. So he does have some experience, and I would be kind of scared as Epic Gamer with the Cho'Gath on the team, especially played by Hotshot. In terms of farm, Corki with a massive 213, played by Westerice, and Doublelift with a really nice 241 up in top lane. He has picked up a Phantom Dancer, which was expected, and obviously he needs to go for some more damage because he's the only one on his team that's doing some real damage at the moment. Saint Vicious has picked up a Randuin's, really standard item for Adir. It's really nice as Adir since you're so fast to be able to get in there and slow the team down. And some little bit of aggression up top. Saint Vicious trying to do some damage on the Dyrus, but Dyrus, knowing that he has Yat and Dan in this vicinity, will not actually be too scared. And we see Big Fat LP coming down here at bottom, trying to get this kill onto Corki. And Corki, just stuck between a rock and a hard place, does get ulted by Big Fat LP. Really nice ult. And they will be able to pick up that kill onto Westerice. And again, we see overextending by the AD carries with no real wards down. And there was some action here on top. Saint Vicious extremely low. Will go down to Dyrus. Really nice shot there. And that was, a pretty even trade. But I'm really surprised, though, that Westerice had no wards. No, he had no aggressive wards again to push. And Cass just came down from mid lane and got that easy ulti on him for the kill. So it looks like both teams actually might be, warming up here, because I believe this is a set of 2. They will be doing another match as well. Yeah, doing a really good job holding on to that Oracle. Is doing really well. He is 0-2, but he is pretty far ahead on items. He will be getting his Philo Stone pretty soon. Or, no, sorry, his Shurela's pretty soon, and he has held on to that Oracle the entire time he's had it. And Hotshot has picked up his Banshee's Veil, knowing that the enemy team is really AP heavy. They are trying to get a really strong front line for Doublelift and for Big Fat LP to do some really good damage on the enemy team. It is really hard for Epic Gamer to get past that front line when they have Udyr stun, they have Alistar's knockup, they have Cho'Gath's knockup. It's really hard for any of them to get past CLG's front line to their carries So they really need to use that to their advantage to make sure that they protect Cass. They really need to make sure to protect Doublelift because Graves does an amazing amount of damage, and especially with the CS, he is going to be doing pretty much all of CLG's damage at the moment. Looks like Epic Gamer's actually sitting there starting to group up, maybe try to push down this tower. I know they really want to get that Baron and kind of put some heavier aggression on, but unfortunately they don't want to give away any sort of lead they have with a 5k gold lead. Looks like we might see some action here at middle. We see Hotshot coming in from their base to help protect this tower, and I believe Epic Gamer cannot beat them on a turret fight, even though CLG is a little bit underleveled and a little bit undergeared. That the turret really does a lot of damage, and especially when Epic Gamer doesn't have too much armor. Shyvana only has a chain vest at the moment, and no one else on that team actually has any armor. So we're just seeing some poke here. Westerice really trying to get this tower down. Whenever he has the ability to hit it, since he does have his Trinity Force, he will be doing a lot of damage to it, of course. And he has picked up a Last Whisper, and that's kind of interesting right now. It looks like he will be trying to take down Udyr, since Udyr will try to stick to him, and Udyr has that Randuin's. And Alistar really low level at the moment. He's only level 10, so he can't really go in there and do too much harass with his abilities, since he can be taken down really easily in his ulti. And Epic Gamer, really good levels all around. Westerice level 16, Dyrus 16, Dandin 15, and yet is actually level 10. But he has been making sure to roam around since Alistar has been doing the exact same thing. Dyrus here just eating a couple tower hits, making sure that they have the extra minions. And CLG will let this tower go down, but Cho'Gath on Hotshot GG is actually pushing this tower. He does have teleport to get out, so he's not too worried. And if Epic Gamer did push, he was just going to teleport back to there, since they will put a ward down for him. And Dragon is up, but they are not doing it. It looks like they are scared that CLG actually might try to do Baron here. And Hotshot, they're just going to let him get this tower, knowing that he can just teleport away if they send anyone over there. And that will just give a free Baron for CLG. Hotshot is actually going to back out. He does have no words. He does not have no vision of actually where they are. So he has to be a little protective, and it looks like Epik might try to be getting this Baron here. And CLG needs to be really careful knowing that this Baron can end the game for them. And Baron is dropping like a rock right now, down to 1,000 health, and it looks like EG will pick up this Baron, uncontested from CLG. And I know CLG has to see that they got Baron. And it looks like there's going to be engage here. Dan ulting over the wall, and Darius ulting as well. Chowster does sacrifice himself to save Cassiopeia, but really good job. They will be able to push down this inhibitor turret as well in the middle. And Hotshot just still pushing this tower. He really wants to get this tower down. And he can just teleport back, knowing that tower is pretty low. Doublelift making sure to get his red buff, so Epik cannot take it, but they really need to get back and defend this turret. And we see Hotshot actually teleporting back in, missing his rupture, but he does land a silence on the Darius. And it looks like Epik will just try to tank this tower a little bit and make sure to get it down, knowing that CLG cannot do too much damage to him with just big fat LP here. And cascading a really nice ulti onto 3 of them. Does hit Westrice and Yat Nguyen. However, it doesn't do too much damage, and Dandan takes some heavy damage from Cho'Gath getting feasted. And Salsi with the amazing ultimate there, picking up 2 kills, and Darius picking up the 3rd. Really amazing ulti from him. Darius flashing in and make sure to get that kill onto St. Vicious. And a perfect 4-0 exchange for Epik here. They will get this inhibitor. And they might even be able to win the game here. Salsi taking really heavy damage. Might be picked up by Chowster here, but really nice command protect. And there's a surrender, knowing that CLG cannot actually get back into this game. Really good gameplay by Epik Gamer. They really took control of the game early and made sure they kept putting the pressure on. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked the video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.